The second example, they didn't give us a graph. Now you may find when you get problems like this that you actually just put it in the calculator and look at the graph. And that in most cases will work for you. Okay. But we really ought to know something about these functions that we can kind of knowingly answer the question. I mean, we've done, up till now, I think the last 2 sections that we did, we had to answer questions about domain for exactly this kind of problem. How would I find the domain of this one? How do we find the domain for the square root? We did this 5 times. So x minus 5 is greater than or equal to 0. Right? Solve for x. So, how did I do what? Well, we know that this has to be true, right? Because if it's not true, then it's less than 0, and we can't take the square root of a negative number. So now if we solve, then x is greater than or equal to 4. That's the domain. Right? This is the same process that we've used now a few times. Now the range we have not done yet. Okay? But for this kind of a problem, we have to understand that when you see a square root, what sign do you assume that it is? It's positive. We always assume that it's the positive, which is called the principal square root. If they meant it to be plus or minus, they have to put a plus or minus in front of it, or put a minus. If you don't see anything, it's positive. So what is the range of that function? What y values could you have? Y has to be greater or equal to 0. Right? The only thing that can come out of this are positive numbers or 0. So the range is y greater than or equal to 0. Right? It just can't be negative, right? Because we assume that the square root is positive. Or 0. Right? If you plugged in x equals 4, then 4 minus 4 is 0, square root of 0 is 0. Yeah, just. It's really 2 different things here. This is because we don't take the square root of a negative number. This is because we assume the positive square root. It seems like they're related, but they're really kind of 2 different things.